Welcome to our session on the MBS prompts panel in the primary care sidebar. My name is Matthias and I work for RSCGP Oxygen, and I will guide you through this session. The MBS prompts panel provides you as the user with a quick and easy way to look at the patient's billing status. It highlights eligible Medicare items that have not been claimed, and it also shows what clinical activity is required to complete other relevant Medicare items. The panel merges with our previous CAT prompt or prompts panel, and it also contains other prompt modules such as cancer screening, which will be a subject of a separate video. So today we're focusing on the MBS prompts component only of this new prompts panel. The MBS prompts have a number of advantages there in terms of making life for you easier and giving you quicker access to MBS information. You can see at a glance any eligible Medicare item relating to the clinical care of the patient currently in front of you, currently open in your medical director. And it also creates the opportunity to improve business potential to the practice. There is no more switching from one desktop system to another to check the billing history, Medicare rules, etc. All this information will be at your fingertips during the consultation, and all the relevant information is based on the patient's age, gender, ethnicity, past diagnosis, and the billing history. All of that is taken into consideration in the primary care sidebar, and then the Medicare rules are applied to that. The sidebar will simultaneously read the clinical system and your billing system, and then assess the MBS items for which the patient is eligible, taking into consideration the billing history, of course, there. The way it's displayed in the MBS prompts panel, we're using a traffic light system with red, amber, and green lights. There's also a gray color. The configuration of the MBS prompts panel is accessible through the little icon here, the 4 lines, which is the same across all panels in the primary care sidebar. So just clicking on there, and you can get into your preferences. Now you can see there's 3 different groups or different prompting modules in this panel. The clinical audit tool prompts, as I mentioned before, we've already covered that in a separate session, so this is not going to be the subject of today's video. Cancer screening, there's going to be a separate video about this one, and of course the MBS items. If you choose not to use any of those, you can just untick those boxes, and I'm going to untick both of these right now. We just leave the MBS item open. You also have an option here, which the default is selected at the moment, to hide the groups when empty. So you don't want to see entries for things where there's no relevant prompts there. But should you wish to, you could always undo that. You can see the MBS item now pops up there, even though there is no item entry. I haven't got a patient open. The pop-ups that come up at the bottom of your screen, you can either leave them as it is, show and auto-hide them after 10 seconds. You can also just undo it, no pop-ups at all. I'll leave it at the default here with the 10 seconds and just close it. I mentioned the traffic light colors before. The red stands for items that are relevant and currently require your input for this patient. So either they need some assessments to be done or they're ready for claiming. Amber is deferred Medicare items or items that are not currently due, but they might become due in the near future. And green are items that have already been claimed. If I highlight that, you see there's nothing there. So just a click on there means they are displayed or not. Currently, none of the 3 are displayed, 4 I should say. Now, only the relevant or the ones that require your input are displayed. The deferred ones, the ones that have already been billed, and the gray ones, items that are not relevant to the patient. Let me just open up the patient to show you how that works. Just going to bring up Diane here. So you can see, because I've got everything highlighted, there's a huge number of prompts displayed. Now that's obviously not what you want to see in your general practice. So we'll untick the non-relevant items first. So you can see now all that's displayed for our client called Diane Tester is the 45 to 49-year-old health assessment. And she doesn't have any billing history. There's no deferred items. It's just the one red one. If I untick that, nothing is shown at all. And untick those, that doesn't make any difference there. So now you've got your primary care sidebar MBS prompts panel set up to your preferences. We can actually go and look at some of the functionality in terms of how does it work with a number of different scenarios.